Hello everyone, my name is Mekon and I'm gonna show you some of the stuff that I and a friend of mine have made on our Tekkit server. It's the latest Tekkit version, I think 1.2.9F if I'm not mistaken. And I'm just gonna showcase what we got and explain a little bit about what it is. So please join me on the journey and I'll take you through it. Alright, so let's start with this building I'm on, which is a pretty large building. I'm gonna fly over here so we can check it out. So there it is. It's a huge cube with open inside, which we're gonna check out right now. Here we go. And this is what it looks like inside. And this area contains all different apparatus that we need to, process materials and generate electricity and stuff like that. So I'm gonna start with the electricity bit, which is over here, which is our reactors. Or the one on the left side is the big reactor, which generates electricity, and this one over here is something that we've not really connected because it was useless really, but it's a turbine reactor where you would use the output fuel or steam from the big reactor here and input it into this machine here and generate electricity. But in the end it was just more efficient to just use the regular reactor, which at this point outputs around 5 kilo RF redstone flux, for those of you who don't know. And that's nice. And this is running at roughly 50% of its capacity. We have the fuel rods set to 50%, and there's 5 of them in there. So, and as you can see, it generates quite a lot of heat. Even on 50%, it's almost over 1,000 degrees centigrade. So that's the power, and it powers everything. We use tesseracts, which are a way of wirelessly connecting stuff. It can transport liquids, items, energy, and in this case it's energy. So we just put another tesseract on any appliance that we need. So that's what we use. Music, let's turn that off. That's what we use for energy. And then I'm gonna quickly explain what we got here. First of all, this one is the access to the factory. So out in the world we have quarries which dig out large amounts of or large areas. Maximum is 64 by 64 blocks, so we usually use that size. We have 8 quarries out in the world right now, just digging out stuff. So it comes in here, goes through this main line here, which is the bus, which can transport items back and forth. And here we have 2 pillars, where the left hand side is a pillar of pulverizers. So pulverizers take raw iron, for example, or raw ore, and it pulverizes it, so it becomes dust. So 1 iron ore would generate 2 iron ore dust, or iron dust, which would then be outputted on this side and sent back or fed back to the bus, and probably it will end up in this pile, which is the furnace. These are just furnaces, all of it. And over here we have compressors, which compacts stuff, so we can save some space. For example, these 3 here is just to compact cobblestone, and in the end we would output 1 single block that would contain roughly 800 units of cobblestone. So that's a really good way of saving space. And we have for dirt, gravel, cobblestone, of course. We have for some minerals, iron, for example, which would generate an iron block. And we also have one for wheat, so we can generate bread really easily. And so that's that. That's the main core of the factory, really. They do the most of the work. And then we have some small appliances here, which we use for creating tesseracts, filling item ducts, so they become these cool impulse item ducts. And we have some manual pulverizer furnace stuff here. And now this is all fine and dandy, but since we have 8 quarries which generate a whole lot of items, and we have the whole factory process set up, the items gotta go somewhere. So we've constructed a kind of deep storage. I would like to call it just, you know, a storage, but it's pretty interesting. I'm gonna go down here where we have the storage, which is, as you can see here, protected by obsidian walls. And the storage looks something like this. This is one row which contains on each side 3 times 24 chests, which is 72. So each row has 72 chests, and we have 1, 2, 3 of these corridors, if you want to say it like that. And all of these are hooked up to the logistics pipes mod system, which means that all of them are capable of telling us what they contain. And I'm going to show that by going up the ladder here again to the main factory floor and go to this pipe here, which is, as you can see, a request logistics pipe. And to use it, you have to use a wrench, and you right click it, and then you get this graphical user interface, which shows us everything in the boxes downstairs. So we have 7 pages, and we can see, for example, that we have wood over here. We can also filter, for example, for cobblestone, and we can see that we have 6 cobblestone slabs. We have 11k, so 11,000 triple compressed cobblestone. And as you can see, the triple compressed cobblestone is actually 729 cobblestone in one unit. So, you know, just take 729 times 11,000 and you get the actual amount of cobblestone we have, which is quite a lot. And the beauty of this is that you can, for example, I want spruce wood, and I can choose that I want 264 stacks of this, and I just press request, and I look at the chest here, and bam, it starts spitting out the thing that I requested. So I do not have to go around knowing in which chest I have stuff. I can just simply go to this request pipe here, tell it what I want, and it will fetch it for me from the underground storage, which is pretty big, and I'm going to show you exactly how big in a moment. First of all, I'm going to explain what this is up here in the roof. Tekkit has this lovely mod called computercraft, which enables you to create computers, and you know, you have some kind of peripherals to the computers that you can use. In this case, I have a sensor and I have a modem. And on the computer, I've put a program which I've written myself in Lua, which is the language of these computers, that basically monitors the chests that are in close proximity to the sensor. In this case, it's these 9 chests on this side and the 9 chests here on this side. So it keeps track of basically not what's inside, but how much is inside of the chests. And it then relays this information out to the network here. So this is just one node, one client, and I have 8 clients per row, which totals to 24, I guess. And the information has to go somewhere. So I've written a server program, which is going up through the network cable to our little monitoring station up here. And here I have a server which aggregates the data together and displays it on this monitor here, which enables us to see that we are at a 53.5% capacity of our total storage. We have right now a total capacity of 2.1 million items. This number is based on number of free slots and the type of item that is in each slot in the storage. Because if you have an item that is not stackable, that will remove some of the total capacity. So it's not just a number of all chests times, you know, space. The number here in the middle, number of items, is more accurate though, because it's the actual number of items, which says that we have 1.12 million items in our storage, which is quite a lot. I would like to know if there's anyone else that has that amount of items stored. So that's pretty cool. Let's see, was it something else? Yeah, and of course we use item ducts from the thermal expansion to transport items back and forth. These impulse item ducts is really nice because they are real fast, so items travel pretty quickly through them. And if you didn't notice, the items come from the bus, the main line here, and goes down here. So everything is interconnected, and I can put stuff in this box here, for example, and it will be led to the correct destination. So for example, if I put cobblestone here, it will go there over to by the compressor and be compressed. So it's a really neat system, and it works very well actually. Um, Very low maintenance. We don't have to do much. We only basically have to move around our quarries. And speaking of quarries, let's go check out where they are right now. Alright, let's see here. We got some stuff. You can see right in the center there you have the quarries, and you have the moving arms of each quarry. That's basically just moving back and forth, digging itself down layer by layer. And it's quite hard to see here because you have the water running above it, but the water actually feels quite a nice function because if the arm hits lava, it won't continue to dig. So when the water comes from atop, it will generate either obsidian or cobblestone from the lava, depending on its flow, if it's flowing or not. And the arm here can dig out both cobblestone and obsidian without problem. It enables it to dig further down. Unfortunately, there's still things that can block that's not as easy to remove. For example, oil. If you hit oil, it's really a no-go. It will just make it stand still. Let's see here if we can't move up a little bit. Oh, that's quite a lot. Here we go. So here we have the core system, which is 4 quarries with each one has an own chest on top where it will spit out its items, and all items is then extracted from each chest through the item ducts and sent through the tesseracts to their destination. So this top tesseract here will send it back into the factory, and this lower one is the one which provides energy to the system. And then we have an exact same setup, just a bit more to the north, or sorry, south, where we will have another 4 quarries digging out this entire area here. Yeah, that's pretty much it. And if you have any questions, maybe you can just post them in comments and whatnot. I don't know what you YouTubers usually do. And I hope it was interesting to see that you can have a storage with a capacity of over 2 million items, and it can be filled up pretty quickly if you know how to do it. Quarries, just a tip. All right.